San Francisco 49ers against the Seahawks this week. It's Seahawk week. It's rivalry week. And I don't care what anybody says, man. Like this game, I don't care how bad the Seahawks are. As long as they got that little leprechaun running around, I'm talking about Russell Wilson. As long as they got Russell Wilson, I am not comfortable. I am not comfortable. I'm not comfortable with this game. I'm not going into this looking like, I'm not going into this game looking like, 49ers should have this in the bag. I see that one guy. He's like some Seahawk dude, man. What's his name? Some on the phone. The dude, Sean Mills, I can't tell you his name right now, but you got the Seahawk guy, and he's like, 49ers are going to kick their butt. First of all, he's been talking real bad about the 49ers, real dirty about the 49ers. I saw his and this is like, I don't know if he's trolling. Let me bring up the tweet. I'm going to share it with y'all. I don't think he's like Evan Hill. That's his name. That's this guy's name. All right. But check this out, y'all. Check this out. This was what he predicted before the season. And I can't believe it. Evan Hill, that's his name. All right. Because I don't even know how you get to this. How do you get to this? All right. So pulling up his tweet right now. This is from before the season. All right. This is from before the season. We got the date right here, September 7th. So shortly before, this must have been heading into week 1. And these are his rankings. And I don't care whatever. There is no way in hell you got the 49ers, the 14th best team in the NFC. I mean, that's bottom 3. You like, if you get surprised by it, which we did get surprised by it early on, like, okay. But there is no way. The Giants, the Lions, the Eagles over the 49ers, like, that was crazy. So clearly this guy likes trolling. And if he's not trolling, then he's stupid. All right. But I'm going to go with the fact. I'm not going to insult him and say he's stupid. I'm going to say, you know what? I think he's just trolling. For some reason, before the season, with the 49ers having a loaded roster, 49ers favorite to win the NFC West, the 49ers Super Bowl odds hella high, but he's like, nah, they're a bottom 3 team in the NFC. Come on, man. That's a little ridiculous, right? But don't worry. I got this tweet, I got that tweet bookmarked, ready to go. Trust me. 49ers better beat the Seahawks ass so I can send that out there. I got the tweets coming, and y'all know I got my people in trouble, you feel me? So I got that video locked and loaded for him, tagging him. Can't wait. Right. I mean, the Lions, we knew the Lions were one of the worst teams in the NFL. And you got the 49. I mean, what are we doing? Like, that's what I mean. The 49ers had a good team coming back. That's why it was so weird to me when the 49ers were losing early on. It's like, man, how are the 49ers losing right now? This makes no sense. But anyways, back to the Seattle Seahawks. They lost last night to the Washington football team. Washington is, it's kind of whatever. But the Seahawks, they made it to the game. They made it a late run. And the reason why they're able to do that is because they have Russell Wilson. So when you look at the 49ers game, so at the end of the day, 49ers need to be on their job. They need to be on their game to really pull out a W here. And it's not helping that the 49ers are missing some of their big guns. When I say some of the big guns, I'm talking about Fred Warner on one side of the ball, who's the defensive leader. He's the team captain. And Deebo Samuel on the other side of the ball, who's your best football player. And he's been your most productive and most consistent player on the field. And everything has gone through Deebo Samuel. I think those are big deals. Now, with Fred Warner, that's one thing, right? It's not just Fred Warner. It's Fred Warner. It's Dre Greenlaw. I think he tweaked something. You got Marcel Harris. He's in concussion protocol. So it's like, okay, we got Azeez Al-Shaair and who else? Flanagan Fowles, I believe. So a little short-handed. But linebacker, that's kind of a position. You can hide that a little bit. You can hide the linebacker position a little bit. What you can't hide, and what's really difficult, is not having Deebo Samuel, who your entire offense has gone through. So what do you do now? Do you just say, you know what, we're going to shift it, and now we're just going to throw the kitchen sink at George Kittle, and George Kittle is going to really, do everything that we need. I mean, George Kittle has kind of, I don't want to say he's been an afterthought. He had a good game a couple weeks ago. Back-to-back games that were a little underwhelming. Last game he had 1 reception. Shocking. You know what I'm saying? But guys are really gonna have to step up. And you don't just lose Debo for 1 game, you lose them for 2. I don't care what anybody says. I am always uncomfortable not having Debo Samuel out there. And I'm always uncomfortable not when you travel to Seattle and you have to play them there. Because they're gonna get up for that. So everything that we know about the Seahawks up until this time right now, throw it out the window. Throw it out the window. They were sorry when 49 played them week 1. Now, obviously, it was 7-7 going into halftime, and, you had the young kid come in, and he wasn't prepared to play or whatever. But they were sorry then, and they won at Levi's Stadium, So I'm never comfortable when it comes to the 49ers playing against the Seattle Seahawks. It just seems like it's always trouble. Always trouble. Russell Wilson, as long as he's playing. Now, if there was no Russell Wilson, if it was Geno Smith, which I saw that guy, Evan Hill, the Seahawks guy, I saw him tweet out, Geno Smith is better than both quarterbacks that the 49ers have. That was it's kind of ridiculous. But that's what I'm saying. He'd be trolling. But I'm telling you this. 49ers beat them. I ain't trolling. I'm coming at them. You feel me? I'm coming at them. Appreciate everybody that's in here right now. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. I'm going to bring some people on. I want to bring on a guest. Let me see if my guy is ready. 1 second here. I hope everybody's good this morning. Everybody's having a good one. I am excited about where the 49ers are, kind of where they're headed right now. Jeff Wilson has to step his game up. Jeff Wilson, I think, he kind of is what he is. Jeff Wilson is what he is. He is a guy that, this is my thing. All right, I'm going to get to it. And I went on kind of a rant talking about Josh Norman yesterday, right? And it's so crazy that because any little thing that Josh Norman does, it confirms how people feel about him. So when they look at Josh Norman, and if he gets a pass interference call against him, or he gets beat for a catch, which I think he only gave up 2 catches in the game, he's the worst. He's the worst, right? This is how confirmation biasness works, all right, right? So you have Josh Norman. Anything that happens negatively to him in the game, he is the worst. He should not be playing. But look at somebody like Jeff Wilson. Everybody is so excited to get Jeff Wilson back. But let's talk about Jeff Wilson real quick. It's like, oh yeah, Jeff Wilson, he's this and he's that, right? Let's pull something up with Jeff Wilson. Jeff Wilson this year is averaging 2.7 yards per carry. 2.7 yards per carry. Let's look at what he is for his career. All right. For his career, 4.0, 3.9, 4.8, which is good, which was last year. That was his best year. And then 2.7. Like, for his career, he's a 4.2 yard per carry guy. Like, he's fairly pedestrian. But everybody talks about Jeff Wilson as if he's just like, oh my goodness, Jeff Wilson, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, can't wait to get him back. Oh, it's like, he's very average. And the only thing that saved him last year with a lot that he did was he had a big game. I need to maybe go to like his game log or something. Jeff Wilson had a couple big games in 2020 that made a difference. So let's look at it right here. So here we go. This is what people are seeing with Jeff Wilson. He had a big game against New England where he had 17 carries for 122 yards. He averaged 6.5 yards per carry. He had a big game towards the end of the season against Arizona, 22 carries for 183 yards, over 8 yards per carry. And those were carrying his per carry average because, I mean, here's in the game, 2 carries for 3 yards, 3 carries for 6 yards, 12 carries for 40 yards. That's 3.3 yards per carry. Against Washington, 11 for 31, 2.8 yards per carry. Against Dallas, 16 carries for 60 yards at 3.7 yards per carry. Last game of the season against Seattle, 3.8 yards a carry. I mean, but nobody looks at like that with Jeff Wilson, right? It's he's so good. Like, oh, Jeff Wilson. Like, but the moment somebody like Norman does something that confirms how you feel about him, he's the worst, shouldn't be on the team, worst cornerback in the league. Nobody ever talks about the good. Whether it's his 7 forced fumbles, whether it's his interception that he has this year, picked off a pass against Chicago. Like, at the end of the game, they threw at him, they targeted him, the ball was incomplete. It's like, no, we're not going to give Norman no love. But Jeff Wilson, you know what I'm saying, who for the most part of his time as a 49er has been fairly pedestrian. He runs hard. So Jeff Wilson doesn't move the needle for me. He doesn't move the needle for me. Yes, he has to step his game up, but he's not the starter. He ain't the starter. So I don't look at it too much in the sense of Jeff Wilson has to go above and beyond to do these special things in the game. Not really focused on him, but it's just funny. It's just funny how just narratives, you know what I'm saying? Just how narratives work. The narrative on Josh Norman is worst cornerback, 49 secondary. I mean, he is what he is. Somebody had tweeted me yesterday about Josh Norman and was like, man, what they say? They compared him to the top 25 guys. It's like, why are you viewing Josh Norman in the eyes that he should be a top 25 corner in the league? That's not what Josh Norman is. He wasn't brought in. Josh Norman wasn't on the roster week 1. Right? All through preseason, training camp, all that, Josh Norman was not on a roster. So why are we viewing him in the light of someone that should be a top 25 corner on a team? That person is not out there right now.